Hey, Anzar teachers, this is me going over this wonderful doc. And so here we go ahead. I'm going to talk to kind of veterans and everybody, technically everybody first. This all applies to everybody. And then I might go a little bit into some stuff that veteran coaches would know. And new coaches would probably just need a little bit of input on or information on. So first, as a reminder, in the Anzar quick links, things will be available to you here. If you want to go ahead and share how to pre-record a presentation, that is there for your students. The GradEx classes will also be posting that and making sure that the kids are aware of how to do that. If you want to, Angela did record one kind of this similar video last semester, but we are just going to kind of talk about the November and December dates in this one. So I'm going to address that. But if something didn't get answered here and you think, oh, you know what, maybe it got answered in Angela's, hers is right here. The GradEx letter to judges, we are going to go ahead and be adding that again to our papers. It does need to be modified. So this is something that I wouldn't put this at the top of your to-do list, like, oh, I got to do it right now. Angela and I will be working on it Halloween weekend and making the adjustments that are needed. What you can go ahead and also be looking at, I don't know if this is fillable as in we've already done it, or is it ones that have, it's just fillable? Okay, well, we won't address that at this moment in time. I will ask Angela in a little bit. Okay, and then this uh, sheet that I'm going to be talking about, so the November, December rounds Google sheet, I am going to go ahead and put it on the top here. I just haven't done that quite yet, but I will go ahead and put it on the top there. So let's talk about this November and December round Google Sheet that you need to go ahead and be filling out. You're probably going to be visiting this at least 4 times over the course of the next couple of weeks when you're adding your coaches that are going to be presenting. So let me tell you a little bit about it. Again, veteran teachers, you probably do know, but here are some really important dates that we need help with. Okay, so the most important things that we kind of need help with in the next 2 weeks is the first thing is we need to know who's going to present in November. So we need to know who is going to present in December by Monday at 11 a.m. Now I know grades are due. We can't push this back much more because, again, behind the scenes, we need to create kind of a list of who is, we need to reach out to the coaches and make sure we're getting judges. And so we really have, could take up to a week sometimes to get the people that could volunteer for this. So please, 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 um, along with gradings, if you have a student, and of course there's never a huge amount during November, but if you felt like your coachee was ready at the end of May, then they should be on this list today. Okay. Now, if they're not, then they go to December round. So we need to know their name. We need to have their question title. So this is the example. If they are going in, um, if they are going in November, we need their name, we need their question title, we need their content areas and components, and we do appreciate that we know who you are. So November 2nd, write it down. That's when we need this information by. Then as the weeks go on, we also need more information from you. Okay. One, I'm going to go ahead and tell you the other big date. Links to papers and presentations are needed by 11/12. Okay, so by 11/12 at 4 p.m. This is the day after Veterans Day. I didn't want to I was going to put it on Veterans Day, but thought that wouldn't be nice. So 11/12 at 4 p.m. What we need to have is we need to have the link here for the paper. So then that way, if we were to click on it, the judges could go ahead and access the paper, and we also need the link for the presentation. So that needs to be here too. And you can just put presentation. There wasn't any standard format for presentations, and it looked a lot different from a lot of people. So you could put presentation, or as you can see here, someone put a Vargas presentation 1 of 3. So that could be, those are the 2 things that need to be done by November 12th at 4 p.m. So again, we need the link to the paper and the link to the presentation. Okay. Now I'm going to come up and talk about, what I mean come up is talk about this top date right here is scheduled Q&As prior to 11/5. If you need help with us contacting your coachee, okay, for the Q&A, let us know. But we think that you're more than welcome. You're already communicating with your coach, so why not go ahead and communicate them one more question to figure out when the 2 of you could sit in a Google Meet or a Zoom meeting. I don't know if we're doing Google Meets or Zooms. I think we're doing Google Meets. You're going to have to do Google Meets for this. If there's any change in that, or you can do either one, because one thing is that you're going to have to go ahead and put in the Q&A session. So you figure out when the Q&A will happen. Might have to figure out where we're going to put that link to where they're going to go ahead and meet, but don't worry about that right now. So we still have a few days that I can think about that. You're going to go ahead. Remember, these dates should be either 11/18 or 11/19. Okay, so 11/18 or 11/19. And so I can't remember if we were doing in a regular presentation mode, if we were on site, we were giving students, we would have hour slots. But since it's just Q&A, I think we were doing half-hour slots, but you might want to stick with hour slots. Like if you do one at 3:30, you're going to do one at 4:30. If you're going to do one at 4:30, you're going to do it at 5:30. And then because of just in case you have a judge that's very curious, wants to know more about them, asks like 100 questions, you don't want to cut your Q&A session. It shouldn't take that long, but you don't want to cut it. The other thing, Q&As can be during students prep if it's your prep. So it can, if they have first period prep and you have first period prep, you can go ahead and schedule a Q&A during that time. But it's usually in the afternoons, starting at, 3, you could start immediately at 2:45 or 3 o'clock and then go. If you want to do every 40 minutes because you have a lot of coachees that are going, then you can do it that way. So those are the things that are expected of you. Again, if scheduling Q&A, but we really would like to get that done ASAP because there can be conflict in time. Like a judge may really, really, really want to read their paper, really want to go ahead and write your presentation, but the only thing is that the scheduled Q&A just doesn't work for them. So that's why it's really important that Q&A is in there as soon as possible. And I know I put 11/5, but if you can do it sooner, that would be great. Once we get this list filled out, one of us or a GradEx teacher will go ahead and start, well, probably Angela, she's got all the emails. She will go ahead and send this out to possible judges where they'll start filling it out. And we'll put emails and stuff like that. And then from there, post presentations, you'll come in here and give us scores. And it looks, we'll look at that in a little bit. So and you'll see a score post and you go like, oh, I get what they're asking for. So again, I think that's about it. I will talk to you all later. Bye.